Well, hello guys. Welcome to Connie and Hannah Unraveled. And today's episode, we are going to be unraveling dreams. Yeah. And Hannah
Hi,
just woke
everyone.
up, so maybe she'll talk about her dreams.
I woke up at like 5 something this morning.
Yeah, so it's daylight savings today. This episode will release a little probably in about a week, but a week or two. Anyways, I think it's just let's be mindful that it's daylight savings, and also Hawaii does not have daylight savings. So I was up in atoms and ready to go when it was 4 a.m. in Hawaii. So let's just say that.
And she's like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, I didn't even answer until I was.
I know. I'm glad you were what's it called at that point sleeping and hopefully focusing on your dreams at that point. Boom, 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 boom. As opposed to like actually
Well,
reciting my 4
I was, and then Espuma, the farm cat, she was sleeping with me all night, and I kept her warm. And so to thank me this morning, she caught me a mouse and she brought it into my bed. So
And that was real. That happened. How bad? Like, was it like blood stuff?
no, it was really little, and like it could have been a lot worse, but I mean, I definitely have to wash my bedding if that's what you're asking.
When you told me that, I'm like, okay, yeah, take care of that. I was like,
Because well, it was like dark, and like I was like, just the way she sounded, it sounded like she may have had something in her mouth. And then I like got my phone light, and I was like, ah. And anyway, yeah, enough about them.
we were like, yeah, I would be out of there. Like, I would be probably washing those sheets, burning them or something, just because, like, I would not. She,
That was very unsanitary.
your face now, like, I should probably do that.
I know. Yeah, right. Like I couldn't even bother because I had to wake up at 5 something. Anyway.
Okay, really quick. So, dreams. Yeah. So, we're going to talk about two different types of dreams. Okay. We're literally going to talk about, well, dreams that we have in our REM sleep. Hi, people in the background. Oh, you can hear me. And then we're also going to talk about dreams in our future, which are the ones that we can take actions on and all that stuff. So, two different types of dreams. Okay. First one, REM dreams. And this has been a topic. Okay. I have been wanting to do a journal for so long about dreams because for the longest time, I mean, everybody dreams. And supposedly there's facts are that everybody dreams about 6 to 9 dreams a night. The average person. Okay. That's a lot. But not everybody remembers them. Like 95% of the time you forget them. It's what I read. Okay. I'm all, I'm like here about dreams. But most of the time, like I dream so much and it just always from like when I was a little girl, I would always just always remember my dreams. And I've always wanted, and sometimes more, cause like they could be like with stress related, they get a little bit more interesting. But I haven't done that. But lately, ever since we're like, oh, let's talk about dreams on our podcast, it's kind of helped me because now what I do is instead of like right away writing them down because I don't want to get out of bed if I wake up in the morning, I text myself. So I text myself like because my phone is right next, it's arm's reach. And I text myself just like notes. So then like when I actually wake up and get out of bed in the morning, I can read it and be like, oh, I remember what that dream was. Because sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night, I'll be like, wow, that was a really messed up dream. And then I totally forget about it by the time I'm up. Have you had that before? Like, does that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I feel like in my mind I'm like, I think I'm gonna remember this for sure.
Right. You always think
like,
you're gonna remember.
Right. And yeah, and it's not. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Like sometimes I do, but it really is important to just write it down the moment you do because our dreams are trying to tell us some stuff, from our subconscious mind and trying to give us clues about what life is about to be. Like there's lucid dreaming. So that's when you can control
Yes, your
dream. which I don't know if I've ever really been able to lucid dream.
I wanted
want
to
to.
so bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna study how to do that.
You can train your brain. So
Right.
you can actually, here's my story really quick. So I've been so excited about writing down my dreams and like remembering them, just especially this week for this podcast specifically. So I'm so glad we're doing this because it's making me like it's holding me accountable. But I share with my student, I'm like, okay, guys, like I had this one dream, and then this one kid in one class, he was like, yeah, he's like, I have lucid dreams all the time. I'm like, I was like, what are lucid dreams? Like, first of all, like, what do you think are lucid dreams? And he totally explained it what it was. He's like, yeah, I can do it all the time now. He could have been totally like messing with me. Or
Right.
there's people who actually
Right.
explaining it like he was. And he's a very intellect student. So like he's yeah, I would believe him.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he would talk about that, and I'm just like, ah, I am so jealous. I've been wanting to have lucid dreams, and you can train. I haven't done this in a while, but like from the moment you get up, and I haven't actually like studied this, but you can like, if you want to dream about something like tonight, you think about it in the morning, think about it in the afternoon, just kind of, don't sit there and like dwell on it, but just like keep it in your constant, like in the back of your head. And then supposedly that's supposed to like help.
Right. And like right before you go to bed, you want to like set like an intention to yourself. Like, I want to lucid dream tonight. Like,
Exactly.
hopefully it works. Maybe it does. And I don't remember, but I have tried.
You have tried, and okay.
Unsuccessfully. Yeah. Unless I just don't remember doing it, but I'm going to try again.
Yeah. So I'm seeing on here. So yeah, it's like lucid dreams are when you're aware in the dream that you're dreaming.
Right.
Like that's what a lucid dream is. So you're like, oh, this is just a dream. I feel like I've gone close, but never, like I've gone close to know in the dream that like if something bad is happening, like, oh, this is just a dream. Like I can recognize myself in the dream, but not to I can't get past that point. I can't get past the point of saying, this is a dream. Now I'm going to control it. I'm going to start flying. I'm going to go do it. Never there.
And lucid dreaming is actually really supposed to help people with like PTSD and like trauma to, or people with recurring nightmares to take control in them and set the tone. So I think it could be a really cool, useful tool, especially like in unraveling parts of your subconscious that you think are causing you issues. So I think it's really healthy. And then there's prophetic dreams. Do you know what prophetic dreams are? No. My friend has them often, but it's when you dream of something and then it actually happens in your reality like soon after.
So like, okay, like predicting the future type
somewhat, of yeah, but it's I mean, since I've known my friend here who lives on the farm with me, she has them all the time and it does happen. It's like really interesting. It's
now,
really
sorry, is it just like talking about like in her like automatic, like her connection, like in her life, or is it like events?
It's been both.
Whoa.
It's been both. Yeah, since I've known her.
Can you share something?
Yeah. Okay. So this just happened to her recently. So we live on the farm, we work the farm, but there's like a living space that you can like pay to live, whatever. It's like a little, like a cabin like thing that you can like live at. That's not for the farm workers.
Okay.
And so but it had been rented to someone for like a couple of years, and she wants to move here to Hawaii. And so we're like, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool if you could live in that space, because whatever, I would be on the farm still, and like you would have your space here and you'd be like living here and whatever. We just like said it and talked about it. And then that night, she had this dream about like her getting the place and like the events in which it happened and like who gave it to her, who set, like whatever, like the whole event of how it became hers. And it did happen. And that was not the first time that's happened. Like I've seen that happen to her a few times. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, we did make moon water that night. Don't get me wrong. We like made a superpower drink from the moon. Because it was a full moon here, and we like put crystals in water, and then we let it absorb the power of the energy from the moon overnight, and then we like drank it, and then she had that dream.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a whole different like conversation we can have.
I know. but that's also the dream, well, where I got some news in some of my dreams too about me overcoming some things in my life that I have been trying to overcome.
Okay.
And I had gotten clarification that night as well after drinking the water from the moon.
That's so interesting because before, like, I wanted to look more. I've always like been just like fascinated by dreams.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sure many scientists like who focus on like, like the psychological part of it, the science behind it, and all of that. And I have really what's got me into it was my mom has always had this book, her dream book, and she brought it from Colombia. I mean, she opens it up, you can just tell like she's like very careful with all the pages and everything. So she's always I would always just kind of tell her about my dreams and she's like, "Oh, let's go look at what it means," or something like this. And then at some point I was at the store and I like found like this is a $5 like dream book interpretation, the dream interpretation dictionary symbols, not sponsored at all. But anyways, so then I sometimes just kind of look into it just because I love psychology and I love interpreting dreams, and I'm like always like, oh, maybe that's a sign or something like that. But
They are
right
mostly.
Subconsciously, because I mean, it's your head creating
Right.
images, right? So it's one thing that I was going to say that I was like reading is to where you in true you can like almost like you're talking about your friend, like is it a way of manifesting, because that was like directly impacting her, because I'm like I've heard of people who have dreams of events and it gets scary to where they have these dreams of events that happen in the world, not really connected to them in their lives, really, but it's just actually events that happen. And then they happen about a week or 2 weeks later, which, call it what you want. It could be like just coincidence, but I've heard of people who just have, not all the time, maybe once or twice a year, that are very specific events. And it's always scary to hear about those things because I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think of them. I don't know. It's like, take it for as you is if you're listening to this, what you believe in. It's all of that. But anyways, I think we have a way of like our subconscious mind. I mean, it's our images, it's our thoughts, it's all in one place. And I do feel like um it's our own mind sometimes just trying to tell us things, or like,
Yeah, definitely.
pay close attention to this, or I don't know.
I think my dreams are very symbolic as opposed to like very direct. Like I think her prophetic dreams are like very direct and like clear. Mine I think have like room for interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've had some interesting dreams. I talk to a lot of people in my dreams, people I haven't talked to in a while. But it's all, it's a space for like energy to connect, I guess. Energy doesn't know boundary, doesn't know time, it doesn't know distance. And so I think that you're just having like a real time connection with someone sometimes through your dreams. And yeah, the events that happen, I don't know. I feel like lately I've been like wanting to remember my dreams, and I have been, except I didn't last night, even though I wanted to. I like because lately I've been telling myself like, okay, I want to remember my dreams tonight, just like putting it out there, hoping for the best. Like, I don't know. And sometimes it's been good and sometimes it's not been good, but I don't know. Dreams, I feel like if you can control your dreams and how you dream, I think
That's a whole level of like awakening, and you just
it is.
I want to meet someone that does that and that I truly believe them, because that's
Right.
talk the talk. I mean, you can't prove it. Like, prove it. Like,
right. It's so
to generally do that. And then I just had this is the other interesting part that I need to look and do more research into. But I had a student come up and ask me, she's like, do you dream in Spanish? And I've had a couple of students too, probably my whole career, ask me this. And and it's been years apart. So this was like a couple of days ago. And then the other one was probably like 3 years ago or something like that. They'll ask me, and I still can't remember if I
Mm.
dream in, I just know that I understand it. So I don't know. I have to look more into it. If
I wonder that too now. Yeah.
like I don't ever have a dream be like, oh, they're talking to me in Spanish, or like if I dream
Right.
like with my sister or my mom that I speak to my mom a lot in Spanish. Like I just understand it. Like I never had that experience. But they say that I've heard people, they say that if you dream in a language, then you're proficient in it. But I'm like, I'm over here proficient in both languages and I don't even know what I'm
Right.
dreaming in. So I don't know what that means. Um,
And when you're dreaming, do you see yourself like above yourself? Like, do you see your whole body, or is it like you as you are right now? Like seeing it through your lens. You
what?
know what I'm
What do
talking
you
about? Do you know
know?
what I'm talking about? Like, do
Like
you
I'm
like,
hovering over my dream.
well, do you like see yourself, like your body and stuff when you're dreaming, or do you see it as like where you like what you're seeing right now? Like how we can't see ourselves right now. Like, do you see it like this through your
Oh, like
lens?
me experiencing, like
Yeah,
walking through.
exactly.
It's
Are you,
always,
is it you experiencing it, or do you
yeah,
see yourself?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And a lot of that, it's also like, you have those dreams to where you're experiencing and you can't recall, you've had those dreams to where like you can't really recall like seeing them. Like, let's say I'm having a dream with my brother or something like that. Like in the dream when I wake up, like I don't remember like, oh, this is what he was wearing, like this is what he was looking or something like that. Or even that he was in there. I just had the presence that, oh, that was my brother talking. Like my
Yeah.
brother was in there, my grandma was in there, this was in there. But just from like the presence,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Now, there are dreams that I can directly say, like, yep, that person was in there. I was talking to them. This is what's happening. And then somewhere in the background, I felt like my dog was in there, but they were still in that dream. So, like, the presence of people can still be in your dreams and those emotions, but not physically, which technically they're not physical.
Right.
But I just think that's also dreams are so cool, but they can be.
It's so interesting. It can be, and I mean, there's just so much behind them that I don't know if we'll ever really understand fully what our subconscious is trying to tell us. I mean, of course, it can take practice and consistency and whatever to get to that level where you just can get into a dream state. And then that reminds me, that probably even goes somewhere into oh my God, hypnosis. That's a
Mhm.
dream state, and that's to unlock things in your subconscious and to let them surface, and obviously to help us process like traumas and issues and blah 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 that we have suppressed in our minds somewhere. And I don't really know much about hypnosis. I think I want to know, though. I feel like there's something interesting about hypnosis.
I think so too, because hello, like I can be straight up telling. Do you remember in high school when it was our senior year and they brought a hypnosis to school?
Yep.
Hypnotist, I think is what
Yeah, I knew you. Yeah, Connie went under real quick.
I was like, yep. And it's interesting because it's so great. You have to, yeah, I'm going to use this word again. You have to be okay. You have to give permission
Mm.
because it's not going to happen if your mind, you're automatically like, oh, this is not, because there's people's like, oh, I don't believe in this. Totally. You're entitled to your own thing, but your own opinion. But when I was going in there, I've always been open minded, and I think I don't even know if I raised my hand. I can't remember how it went down, but I was sitting there, and he's like, okay, let's go. I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. Um, but yeah, like I just remember when it happened, like I was just like ready to go, and it didn't, like I knew what was happening. It's not that I didn't have control, but it's almost like I like was open to letting, it was like the guy talking, it was a man at that point, um, like tell me what to do type of thing.
Mhm.
And I was okay with it. But I don't know. It was so weird because yeah. So no, I totally believe like in the whole therapy of hypnosis and this like also dreams, because I mean I just knowing how I was able to let somebody in the outside world control my mind. And it's not really controlling my mind, like
But it's
guide
just
me. I don't know. I don't even
yeah,
know.
guiding you, like accessing some part of, a part of you. I wouldn't say it was like controlled, but
Yeah. Yeah,
just
it's a bad word. Not the best word in this sense. But I do fully believe that like you have to be open to it. I mean, it goes with therapy. You have to be open to it. You have to be conscious that this is what's happening. Kind of give permission to do that and then so forth, which could be in a sense like when you have a lucid dream, like you're training your own brain to be like,
I think it's very similar.
this is what you're going to do. This is what your intentions are. Be open to it. And then who knows? Watch like tonight. We both have like these awesome lucid dreams.
Um, well, yeah, and I mean, this wasn't lucid, but I had this dream. I, I was overcoming negativity, and in my dream, the negativity was in the form of a zombie, and the zombie was buried, and then I further ran it over with a truck.
First of all,
Yeah,
who buries zombies?
you're burying negativity. Okay.
Got it.
That's the way I interpreted
In
it.
the form of a zombie. Well, yeah. I mean, and that's the beauty about dreams. And I think that's the hardest part about it because we all experience like there can't, I don't know, like a science project because you study my dreams and you study your dreams, you your experience and emotions and everything are in your mind, ideas are all different than mine. So there's not like a definite, which is so fascinating about dreams because it's all about how we perceive them, how we connect to them, and our emotions that are attached to it.
Mhm.
Because for me, maybe that would have been like a really messed up dream, and I'd be like a little like freaked out about it when I woke up. I'm like, huh. I was like, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever dreamt with zombies
That was like
before.
that was my first experience with zombies.
Interesting.
But
Hmm.
then and then there's also like daydreaming, like dreaming during the day where you're I don't know how fully aware you are. I mean, I think that in daydreaming you are halfway in this reality and then halfway in a dream-like place. I wouldn't, if you're daydreaming. Um,
What? Tell me more.
well, like it's just like you're not being present here, so then you're somewhere else. You're in a
Oh, like
dream,
daydreaming. Okay. Like in the future.
kind of, yeah.
Because
So
isn't
yeah,
that daydreaming is like when you daydream, are you daydreaming? I guess you could daydream about the past,
sure.
right?
Let me, yeah. Unless, but is daydreaming? Do you think that that is like another way of like just saying you're not present? Is that not is daydreaming just not being present?
I mean, for sure it's not. Because I know for a fact that when my students are daydreaming, they're not present in what I'm
You're
saying.
like, Earth to whoever,
Or
wake
is
up.
another, yeah, that yeah, no, I mean, I think it's fair to say that because you're escaping that world and
Mm.
you like you said, like you could be talking to me, and if my mind is in the future, like something that I like daydream about or whatever, or it could be the past, or just in not in that conscious state of mind, I guess you could say, because you're not in
Right.
conscious state of mind at present.
That's a
And
better way. Yeah, that's a better way to say it.
so, yeah, no, you're definitely not present. Your body is, but your mind's not. And I wouldn't say I think for you to be present, it has to be your body, but also your mind. If not, you can't really take action in the moment.
Mm.
Dang, I just
It's like
went.
sometimes. No, it was good. That was good. That was a good connection. And daydreaming, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not like falling, like being having anxiety or depression where you're falling out of your presence. It's more so, um, like if you're dating, that mean that you're just like hopeful for your future in some regard, right? That you're just
Yeah, and I think it's important. I think daydreaming is also important in the extent. I mean, it's all comes with a balance because you don't want to be. I mean, Okay. You can look at this as, and this is just from my experience and just looking at, like, let's say you are in a state of mind that's negative and you're daydreaming and you stay in that state of mind for a while. That's negative at that point, right? Because then your thoughts start becoming, and then at that point, your thoughts become real. But
Right.
there has to be a balance. So, like daydreaming on a daily basis of, I think could be a form of manifesting things.
Yeah.
I see myself as, for the longest time, this is so weird. And this is, I don't know where this is going to go, but I've always had this feeling of, I know I'm going to be part of something important and it's going to make a difference. For the longest time, I've always had that feeling inside of me, which kind of created some sense of anxiety sometimes because I would be like, okay, like I'm waiting for me to feel this, like that I'm here in this thing. So I always like had this feeling and I always like thought about it and that. Um, but now in the present moment, I feel like I'm there right now to where everything that's happening, it's going towards that. So on the daily basis, like I think about and I envision and I daydream like this is what I'm going to see. This is what's going to happen. And for the longest time for the past year, it's been I've been manifesting it. I've been thinking about it positively and I've been doing it and I know that for me it has helped, which is so weird because I never even thought about it, like me daydreaming and creating these
It's
envisioning
certainly
these. Yeah.
where you put your focus is what you create in your reality, because our ego is what makes us human. And it is also, our ego wants us to be right. Okay. That is the point of the ego. It wants us to be right. So if you do like put your focus on negative things, your ego doesn't have a bias that way, but your ego wants you to be right. It's part of the human experience. It's what anchors us to this world. And so if you are falling into that anxiety in your daydreams or, fear in your daydreams and stuff like that, and you're letting your thoughts just go there, your ego wants to make that your reality because that's where your focus is. So, the ego is all about making you right. So if you say like, I am awesome, I'm financially well off, I have a successful business, and you believe that, your ego is going to make that happen for you and wants to make it your reality and wants to make you right. So it is important that like when we do fall into those daydreams that are negative, which is really just hidden anxiety and fears, that we learn to redirect our thoughts and our minds and retrain ourselves so that that doesn't become a norm and a comfortable place for us to fall. As time has gone on, we've let that become like a comfortable place for us to be is in that, I don't want to say like a victimhood. That's not exactly right, but um
But you
we
could
just
be a victim of yourself at that point of your
yeah,
thoughts. I feel like
yeah,
that's a valid point something valid to say.
yeah. It's we don't have to allow that. We don't have to allow it. We can but we have to make conscious decisions to change our focus. It takes a lot of work and takes practice and patience and being unconditionally loving of yourself and non-judgmental of yourself and all these things. Um, but if you want to build a beautiful life, you have to be able to redirect your negative thoughts,
Yeah.
even in your daydreams and your dreams. And I don't know if dreams, sleep dreams are negative. I don't know. I don't know how to control those ones yet. We'll have
Which
to talk
one? Sorry, I just had a moment. I like whiplashed my brain.
dreaming in your sleep dreaming. Like, I don't know if those are ever negative because I think those are just signs from
Okay,
your.
see, here's where I'm gonna go because as you were talking about it, this is what I've been doing. And honestly, to this point, like I have not thought about it until now. Like that this is what I've been doing, which is good. The ones that I've been paying more attention is like when I look at dreams and I wake up and I'm like, okay, like that situation that just happened in my dream, is it trying to tell me that subconsciously, like that's what I'm afraid of? And I think about it, I'm like, okay, like maybe that's a fear. That's a fear right now that I have that I need to bring into my present tense and into my daydreaming, because I recently had a dream that, you know, did kind of bring up front something that I'm like, okay, Connie, like, why are you dreaming this? Like, let's pay attention to it. And, I've worked through just being, okay, I'm not going to have those thoughts anymore. I'm not going to have thoughts like that affect me. And so I make it a conscious point to, during my day, to be more positive and to pretty much contradict myself than how I did it in my dream. Does that make sense? Like in my mind, it's telling me, hey, Connie, you might be feeling this way. But during the day after that, which goes is like how you choose to live your day. Like I could stay in that mindset of, oh man, maybe I'm afraid, like, like, oh, I'm so anxious about this. And then like, I'm so scared about, if I'm going to interview or doing an interview, like I am going to mess up or I'm going to do so bad that it's going to be so embarrassing and blah, blah, blah. So instead of staying in those emotions, I'm like, okay, that's how you're feeling. Let's prep on them and let's do everything we can to not make that a reality.
Right. Right.
I don't know.
It's true. No, I think, and that's once again your ego working, like you are trying to trick your ego into making positive things in your life your reality, instead of the negative that seems to be like creeping up once in a while. Like you have to make that conscious choice to set your mind in a positive pace so that
But
you
yeah,
only blessings will come your way. Yeah,
it's almost like tricking your own brain at that moment. Like, this is what
it
you did
is.
at night. Your brain is telling you this, but during the day that you're not going to do this. And then at night again, you're like, oh, okay. Like that's gone. Like now let's dream about something else. Like what else, Connie, while you're sleeping, are you trying to tell yourself?
Right. No, it's, I think, interpreting our dreams, paying attention to them and letting them direct us, and show us where we are and taking it very, very,
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah, it's like a superpower.
But we can go from like really deep dreams and like, yeah, like this is what they meant. And sometimes like I don't even like when we have dreams, I don't, especially this week, I'm like, I'm gonna let that dream go. Like I'm just not gonna sit on it. It'll be fine. Like this one dream I texted myself. This was the first dream that I had that I texted myself this week. And it was, and I told you, like, I'll wake up and I'll just write things down. I wrote 3 dreams this week. There's 2 of them that I probably won't talk about just because like
Good.
I've, had some deep thought and I've actually have been working on those. But okay, so this is one. Stigmatism woman in a cart chasing me, grocery store, me paying for eye insurance, $24 or $40, something like that total. That was one dream. I literally like that's my text. Okay. There's another one. This was oh, this is interesting. Pepper spray in the eyes before a shooting, behind a door. I saw it and then redid it.
There's a lot of this eye stuff going on.
There is some eye stuff, but now that I remember how that dream was, it's like I had a dream of that. Like it was intense. Like there was like some sort of like a shooting going on, which that's like traumatic. But anyway,
Right.
so that was happening. And then it's almost like I was in the background and I saw this guy act and save these people by pepper spraying this guy and like doing that. But then it's like the whole dream started again, and it was me being the guy who pepper sprayed. So it's like the redid it part was that like I saw it happening and I knew what I needed to do if I was ever put in that position, and I did it in the dream. Was that weird? So it's like 2 dreams and I don't even know.
Interesting. Wow.
Okay, you ready about this one? Oh, this is the best one because I love when songs like creep in your brain and you wake up and like I literally woke up singing this dream or singing this song. Okay. It says worries about saying things, car damage in the front and the back, and I put hiding, and then I put dot song, say my name, singing it, going home. So I woke up that day singing, say my name, say my
Oh
name.
my
Music.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What is your interpretation of these things?
No, these are ones that I have not interpreted. I I can't. Like I don't know what do they mean? I have no idea.
Oh, there's someone's having to do with eyes. Say my name, like maybe you want some attention. I don't know. Some affection. I got you, baby. Don't you worry.
I don't know, but I don't always have those dreams of like songs, but I when you wake up singing the song, there's like Say My Name. It was 90s song, I think it was, or 2000.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. I know. I was like, thank you. Thank you. I played that song on my way to work that morning.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah. Taking it literal.
But anyways, the dreams could be completely like sending you messages. Sometimes it just totally don't make sense. Like the girl in the car chasing me and then I paid her eye insurance. I don't know. Maybe that's just me trying to tell me that like because I have stigmatism. Maybe I just need to like go to the eye doctor and just make an appointment.
And even like the pepper spray, that's eye related.
Oh.
I would see what that
Oh geez. Whoever's listening to this has like their own book and they're like, Connie just told us this is what's happening.
This is what to expect soon, Connie.
Oh my gosh. Cool. We're gonna edit that part. You like any other dreams that like been like or like maybe not this week, but that you've had that you just never made sense of? Like they're so bizarre because I have had so many, but those are the ones from this week.
I mean, I talk to my soulmate in my dreams all the time.
I think that's so beautiful though.
We talk all the time. Yeah. But it makes, it's like, understanding that in this life, in this reality, things are not meant to be right now, but like in the energetic world where there's no boundaries or distance or time, we are still connected and we still talk all the time in our dreams, or at least in my dreams.
Always in my dream.
And they're always very sweet. Yeah.
That is so cute. I want to talk to my soulmate in my dream, or who knows? Maybe I have been in a different conversations. We need to have different conversations in my dream. I'll make a note of that.
It is very comforting, and I think your dreams can they tell you a lot. And it's not just only coming to your conscious, but I think that your guides.
You think what? Can you repeat
and stuff? I think your guides and like spirits and stuff, I think they talk to you through your dreams as well.
I think so too. I think recently I've been open to that because I never was really opening to like, I don't know, like I feel like before, like if you don't really think about your dreams, you just wake up, you're like, oh, what does that mean? You carry on about your day. But like I think when you actually take time to just be like what is my subconscious mind trying to tell me? And then do the work to maybe recognize and be like, oh, like, yeah, you do have those thoughts. It's just now it's vividly, literally in your dream.
Yeah.
To take action. I think it could be a part of healing, and it could be a part of just finding yourself and fighting your ego. And
it's a huge part of healing.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of healing to like listen to your subconscious and what's going on in there and taking it literally and seriously and dealing with it. I mean, I think that's our dreams are our connection to whatever energy source to let us know what's going on in a more like I don't know, understood way or something, just like, I mean, like we said, sometimes it's symbolism, sometimes it's very clear and real. And I don't know, there's just so much there. So
sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Everyone though should do their best to remember their dreams and write them down right away and interpret them. And whatever makes sense to you,
Yeah, I think like a question that I've, done myself is like, okay, like what was the message in that? And sometimes it's not like the car, like I said, the girl in the car chasing me. I don't know. I think I'm going to let that one go. But like other ones that that I've had this week,
maybe it's like prophetic. Maybe it's a prophetic dream. Maybe it's going to happen in your reality. You'll have to let us know.
It's like I'm a press shop where this woman just starts chasing me. That
And
was
somehow,
creepy.
yeah, then somehow someone has some pepper spray somewhere, and like I don't know. Oh my god.
I don't know.
Ah.
But yeah, we would love to hear. And then when we post this, also like in the comments, in the comments below. But you know, I think it's fun here, and like I love hearing about people's dreams. Like of course, like the weird ones, the silly ones that are like, of course, you know, could be dreams are intimate. Like you know, of course, not everybody's going to share them because we're all going to interpret them in different ways. But if you have any like weird dreams that like you just could not make sense of, they're so bizarre. We would love, I'm sure, to like read them and comment them. And I don't know, sometimes I get laughs at like the dreams that like sometimes that my students share, like dreams are like that. I'm like, oh cool, like you had a dream about eating like 48 donuts in one day. Awesome. Like
Oh my
we're over here dreaming about zombies and
Oh man.
I want to dream about donuts
Right.
and unicorns.
Yeah, mine are never that pleasant.
Right?
Like they're pleasant, but they're deep. Mine are always like there's always some kind of depth in there. I'm like, it's never
Yeah.
just like simple.
Like I would love to have a dream about just like, I don't know, like Barney in there and just hanging out and like counting I don't know. Just
Barney. Like, I actually hope Barney's never in my dream.
that actually could go really bad real quick.
Like I think that'd be really scary.
It actually could be. Yeah, okay. But you know what I mean? Like those pretty ones. Like have oh, I want to have like cool, and I think I will, like dreams about like Dali, you know, like Dali. Salvador
Artist.
Dali, the artist, of like how his are about dreams, and like there's like boats that are like made out of butterflies, and that there's like clouds. Like I want to have those dreams, like pretty, like anyways.
That guy was the master of dream interpreting. For sure.
Maybe I'll look at a bunch of his artwork today, and then before I go to bed, and then see how that. I'll do my own science project. Well, yeah. I hope this was our unraveling dreams. The ones where our subconscious are trying to tell us something, or where we take control and daydream and manifest them into our lives.
Exactly right. And next time we will be talking about vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
The stigma, but how it's actually a power.
Yes, taking back our power with vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one, right?
It is.
Cool.
Everybody needs to be aware of it.
Hannah's in her Zen moment. You get these moments where you're just like,
sometimes I'm like high energy, like, and this is what happens in the body.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because it's a word that I've recently learned to be comfortable saying it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do some exercises with our mouths to be able to say it properly.
Yes. Okay, guys. Well, we hope you enjoy this. Share your dreams with us if you'd like, because I would love to read them and get some laughs out of them, especially the interesting ones. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will check in with you next week. And Connie and Hannah unraveled, or we will unravel vulnerability. Woo.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Oh, geez. I'll do the piece.